I just wanted to come on here and talk about something that I've been going through the last couple of weeks. I finally feel like I'm unstuck. For a while, it felt like I was kind of on pause. When you're dealing with your own mental health and then you need to, or feel the need to, and want to help others with their mental health, it can be a bit of a challenge when your mental health suffers because you're too focused on someone else's mental health. When you become too worried about other people and how they're doing, and then they aren't necessarily focused on their mental health, and it becomes your job to make sure that they're okay when they're not doing that. It can be really frustrating. And it's been going on for too long compared to what it should have been. But I'm the type of person that really likes helping people, but then sometimes I take it to the extreme, and I was the one who ended up kind of losing myself in that process. Because my own mental health was on a bit of a decline before I started taking on other people's mental health. And I was just suffering from burnout, which is kind of why I stopped doing the CP Chronicles with Kyle and Christina and why we've been on hiatus for so long. Because I was just to a point where I didn't want to do it anymore, and because it wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying it like I once had. For about 90% of our journey with the show, I enjoyed it so much. And then the last couple of months, it just started to become a burden, so to speak, because it was always trying to fit life around the show instead of show around life. But we had gotten so used to being on a schedule. At first it was 2 shows. Well, first it was 4 shows a month, and then it became 2 shows a month when it started to feel a little too much. But then even the 2 shows a month for me started to feel like I don't want to. Like I was on the show in the last few months, but I wasn't really enjoying myself, and I think I did the guests a little bit of a disservice because I was trying to put on a show and put on a happy face for them, and I don't know if I did the best job, but I eventually had to say I need to take a break. And thankfully my partner on the show was like, okay, that's fine. And then we were going to come back in a couple of months, and then things happened, and I felt the need to, you know, take on someone else's mental health because I care about them and I wanted them to feel good and be happy. And then I didn't know how to do that for them. And then it didn't, they were stuck. So then I became stuck because I was just sitting in that, not only my declining mental health, but then theirs, and then not really moving, waiting for them to move so I could move. I felt kind of my mental health was tied to their mental health. And then just within the last few weeks, I've started to realize that my mental health can't depend on someone else's mental health. And someone else's mental health can't depend on my mental health. It is our own journey. And it's just been kind of hard to separate myself from that. But I feel like I've started to do that because it's not my responsibility. For a long time, I felt that it was partially my responsibility to make sure that they were okay. But their journey to being okay rests in their hands. Anyone's mental health rests in their own hands. Yes, support is absolutely necessary, and I still want to do that, but I have to realize that my mental health is my mental health, and their mental health is their mental health, and we can be there right alongside each other, but I don't have to put my mental health on the back burner to make someone else's, succeed. We have to do it together. But I'm slowly starting to feel like I've started to be myself again. And it's been over a year really since I felt that way, because like I said, things had started to decline, and so it's almost like a year and a half almost that I started to lose myself, and it feels nice to have finally started the process of finding who I am again, and part of that is making videos. And I just want to make this video to say that I want to not hold it all in like I was doing for a long time. I want to be able to talk about, where my journey is, and if my journey helps anyone who watches this video, then my job is done. Part of my issue was really feeling guilty for moving forward in my life when someone who I love is stuck at this particular point in theirs. I feel like they've gotten farther along in their journey than they were, but when someone is stuck, you want to be there for them. You want to help pull them out of the mud to help them keep moving forward. And I felt like I couldn't move forward when they couldn't move forward. But that's where I really had to separate, my mental health being better than it is will help their mental health be better than it is. Because I do think you do feed off the energy of the people around you. So when I'm not feeling good, I'm not really helping the other person feel good. So I've started to feel good again about where I am with myself and who I am. So hopefully, it just continues to spread that way.